Hello guys and gals of the internet, it's Sim and Gals of YouTube. I'll try to keep this short. This is the pre-match notes before the game of Watford and Manchester United in the FIFA PES 16 playthrough. Basically, the format is going to change a little bit now. I won't go into too much details, basically refer to my latest channel update, which will either be at the end of this video or if you're subscribed to the channel, it'll be the main video on the page. This is going to be run in the Share Factory now, basically because of my new purchase of the newest capture card, the Avra Media Live Gamer Pro Lite, which doesn't have an editing section in its software, so that's why this is in the Share Factory until I can get a proper video editing software in Sony Vegas or something like that. I have lowered the halves down to 8 minutes, as you can see, because from here on out I'm going to do games in their entirety, which I think probably might be better in some way. Like I would have done it last year, but like I said, at the end of FIFA 15, I was starting to have problems with the Elgato, so I didn't really want to burn that or my computer out. And now I can do the matches in entirety without having to worry about it. Yeah, refer to my latest channel update, and that's where I'll leave it for now, and I'll see you at the start of the match. Welcome to Vicarage Road. For the first time in over 10 years, Watford are taking on Manchester United today, following from an international break run under traumatic circumstances after the events in France, where the whole world has come together, including the football world, as the French national anthem was played in the pre-match today. Julio Gomez is in goal for Watford, but now Prudhomme, Beckeline and Yobaz, Rome, Barami Kapul, Bruno Drago, Towson in the midfield, Troy Deeney's up front, David De Gea starting. In goal as always for Manchester United with Darmian, Jones, McNair and Shaw, Herrera, Blind and Mata at the midfield, Mark Diao, Rooney and Memphis Depay at the front three. Manchester United, the best defensive team in the league, even though they haven't really been leaking goals as such. The Champions League has been their main problem, with 2 consecutive losses against Wolfsburg, and that will actually be coming back to Manchester United's main trainer Fort soon. And, match day 5 against I think it's PSV or Helsinki. It's one of them. I think it's PSV though. I know it'll probably be Helsinki next, won't it? Yes, it will. For Watford, it's going to be an interesting one. They're going to be playing with nothing to lose. They have faced Manchester United before. I think Manchester United in that year, which I believe was 2003-2004, dominated this fixture. Of course, back then Manchester United had the likes of Ruud van Nistelrooy and such, Paul Scholes and Ryan Giggs. It's very much a different looking squad this time around. Still menacing, but one with its own issues of maybe not playing enough flashy football. And I think Manchester United fans need to come under some criticism to some degree of they have been spoiled, and with success over the past 26 years of the tenure of Sir Alex Ferguson. They do need to have patience. I believe so. I think it's not over for Louis van Gaal yet. He's got the squad. He just needs to win the games and the trophies now. Already thoughts are looking to the future. We know that Van Gaal, it's going to be a 3-season tenure, and that's for definite. And obviously, looking to the future in the terms of Ryan Giggs, will he take over from Louis van Gaal after he leaves? And one would like to think so. And that's a great looking pass, and Troy Deeney's in the box, and David De Gea is already doing what he does best. It's a fantastic save. And we say it's, oh, what a save. We say it so often. And David De Gea is in a really happy state of mind. He's really come out and said that he's really enjoying where he is. And Manchester United fans are forever thankful to him. They might be spoilt with success, but they are some of the best fans in the world. Really sticking by their team through thick and thin. The David Moyes tenure would be a great example of that. Here comes Wayne Rooney after some fantastic play. Wayne Rooney's on his own. He's put it wide. Wayne Rooney, he scored an absolute wonder goal for England in an emotional match friendly against France earlier in the week, but And Wayne Rooney, you'd expect him to make that, wouldn't you? Very strangely put that wide. He'll get another one though. Wayne Rooney, you keep trying until the end of the game. And Wayne Rooney is the prime example of that trait. And then with Aaron Hillwood, of course. Not playing today is an away fixture, and he was probably hit most by the events in France. Really an emotional and caring guy, Aaron Hillwood. You'd expect that from him, really. It really hit him hard. And players like Anthony Martial today, Morgan Schneiderlin making the bench, playing under emotional circumstances themselves. It was a tragic time for France, but the whole world has come together in support. And it's great to see. He's going to get a break here as Michel's not really accepting of the helping up by the Watford player. I think two players just went down in the heap. I'm not sure it's a Watford free kick, but it's what it is. And Gerardo's going to take it. He's going to have a second man on it. And the wall was jumped. The wall was jumped again. Great shot, great save by David De Gea. Great save. Once again, David De Gea. He saw that all the way, didn't he? What a save. We say it so often. That man right there is probably going up to legendary status right now. You can see why Real Madrid wanted him so badly, but maybe not that badly. Real Madrid, with the resources and money that they have, it's a great down by Ibra, but it's poorly attempted to bring back in. It's going to be a United goal kick. Paddy McNair, one of the academy players, and Manchester United are starting to bring a lot of those through. Tuanzebe recently made an appearance. And a lot of Manchester United's youth academy people say it doesn't work. I can tell you it does. Jesse Lingard would be an example. And then Januzaj as well. Even though he's on loan at Borussia Dortmund. Reports of trouble for Adnan Januzaj at Dortmund at the moment. But I think you have to keep in mind that Januzaj is at one of the best clubs in the world and with some of the best players in the world in terms of Marco Reus and Shinji Kagawa in the midfield. Januzaj tends to play. Joining in with a poor shot there. Under their new manager, Aston Villa will take on Watford at Villa Park for Watford next. Tim Sherwood, rather unlucky in his tenure, to be honest. I think he's a really promising manager. It's really such a shame that in this day and age, I don't think managers are really given enough time, but I guess results were going against him as well. A lot of people, Manchester United fans, saying maybe David Moyes wasn't such a bad departure in terms of the players and how he was using them. I think the biggest disappointment for United Business Centre was that was the same squad that did win the title the year before, and that's what kind of prompted Manchester United into action. You would say they're not known for sacking managers, but they did have one for 26 years. Unparalleled success. And like we said, Manchester United, they can be seen as a bit spoiled with the success they've had, but at the same time, fantastic set of fans. They are loyal to a fault to their team. So the most loyal in the Premier League. And as we were saying about David De Gea earlier, Real Madrid seemed desperate to want him, but they left it late. They wanted a deadline day steal. They wanted the headlines, and they paid for it because Manchester United were able to keep him. The faxes didn't go through. The paperwork didn't go through in time. And David De Gea remained a Manchester United player. And you can see why United was so eager to keep him. Wayne Rooney testing Gomez, former Tottenham goalkeeper. He has Premier League experience. You can see why Manchester United is so eager to keep David De Gea. The saves he's made even early on in this match. Tao's a great interception by Paddy McNair. He just can't keep it in. Next up for Manchester United, I believe, is the return to the King Power Stadium. A stadium that Manchester United, or against a team that Manchester United might not really favour playing at. A 5-3 loss last season comes to mind, I believe it was. in the corner for Watford. And he headed away by Blind. And for a throw. There's David, Real Madrid. You probably would criticise them for being more about the headlines and wanting to say David De Gea on deadline day, and it completely backfired on them. And Manchester United have really benefited as a result. Sergio Romero, you would have thought, was probably the goalkeeper, the new number one in training, but David De Gea signed that new contract. He's paying it back vigorously with some fantastic saves in this game alone. There is confirmation of that match between Leicester City and Manchester United, which will be next on the agenda at the King Power Stadium. In the Premier League, anyway. Memphis has kept the ball. Memphis Depay goes into the box. And it's just over the bar. It's a beautiful shot from Memphis. It's a beautiful attempt. Gomez probably would have had that covered just about. You never know with Memphis. I'm under some criticism recently, but you have to remember he's young and he's got the 7 shirt. And the 7 shirt carries a lot of weight on it. A lot of people, I question whether Louis van Gaal is giving these shirts to people who are just probably not really ready for them yet. The 7 and 11 carry great weight with them. 7 being Eric Cantona, Cristiano Ronaldo, David Beckham, and the 11, the immortal Ryan Giggs. And then Nanzai comes to mind. These shirts are not small, and it's I think it's kind of unfair how these shirts have been given to these young players. It's not to say they haven't proven themselves, it's just they're a bit young. You can't put that kind of pressure on a young player. It can affect them. Nanzai was a prime example, really struggled last season sadly, after having a stellar debut. He's a special talent, there's no doubt about it. Hopefully this time at Dunwich will help him in the long run. Here's Memphis. Memphis is in the box, he's trying to go all the way. It's going to be cleared by Watford as we approach the final minutes of the first half with no goals. Here's Troy Deeney. Paddy McNair, fantastically done again, but he's caught with the ball in his possession, but he clears it nicely. All the way to Martial, who's exploded onto the scene, hasn't he? Oh, beautiful stuff. But once again, De Gea is in the way. That's a bad touch, but he got the pass just about through to Anthony Martial. And yeah, 3 minutes of added time from the fourth official. Here's Danny Blind. Tried to clip it through to his team, Holland teammate Memphis Depay. Couldn't make it. Townsend's going to be the main man for Watford today. There's Kapul, formerly of Tottenham, signed in the summer window, I believe. Ball down to Noim. Townsend. Deeney. Kareem. With the cross. Off the post. Off the post and cleared. And Watford unlucky. And that is the final action of the first half. Watford very unlucky there. Been denied by the magnificence of David De Gea and the woodwork. Manchester United curated very little, which seems to be their problem. It's not defensively that's the problem anymore. It's the forward line. The score at half time: Watford 0, Manchester United 0 here at Vicarage Road. Welcome to the second half here at Vicarage Road, where the score is 0-0 between Watford and Manchester United. Watford have really held firm in the first half. Pretty even first half. It was just Manchester United were creating very little. They only made a couple of chances for themselves. Watford were the more forward-thinking team, but David De Gea once again, the man in goal who just cannot be beaten on plenty of occasions. He has put in goals, but a lot less. And you would have thought he's shaken off the rustiness and he's back to his best. Just Depay with the cross, headed in by Rooney just put it wide. Wayne Rooney missing that chance early in the first half. And it is apparently out for a corner. And Memphis Depay is going to go up and take it. Takes it, headed in. Gomez comes out. Oh, it's missed by somebody who was on a volley on the slide there. Now, come on for break. Here's Derudo. Going to be chased relentlessly by Juan Mata. Evan Hunes. Great tackle by Darmian. New signings have really settled in well to Manchester United. Depay's getting there. Martial has exploded. Darmian's really comfortable. Schweinsteiger is impeccable. Troy a bit of bad header there. Watford captain. And we're going to have a Watford substitution. And the manager is Steven Berhuges comes on for Derudo. All the new signings have settled in well to Manchester United. Sergio Romero had a good debut and a good few games. And like we said, maybe he was the #1 in trading until David De Gea signed that contract, and Romero did really well. Schneiderlin has settled in nicely. Like we said, Schweinsteiger's been impeccable. Martial has exploded. Memphis is getting there. It's all looking good for Manchester United. It's all looking rosy, but will they be title challengers? You have to think so. They've got the squad to do it, and there'll be a lot more expectation on Manchester United this season than there was last. Now that they've made the Champions League, that is. 2 seasons ago when David Moyes took charge, Manchester United didn't really expect much, to be fair. Their fans were really patient and they knew they weren't going to win the title, but to fall as low as 7th, that just isn't Manchester United, and that's what kind of hurt David Moyes in the end. I think he really should have been given another year, but time is short in the Premier League when you're a manager, even if you're Manchester United. The team not known for that sort of thing at all. A great looking header, but I don't think Rooney was quite up to getting that, but he went to the marker there and he earned the throw in as well. Here's Martial. I'll pass it in. It's going to be looping towards, I think it was it's Mata. Was it Mata's offside anyway? Good cross from Martial. It's just unfortunate that Mata was just a leg offside there. It looks worse than it is, I would say. That angle makes it look pretty bad, but I don't think it was that bad. Manchester United really sound in defence, even without Chris Smalling today. Rested obviously following for the international break. This is Bastian Schweinsteiger. And the Germany team, I think, had their match abandoned. Unfortunately. Never be too careful, though, just for the right reasons. Troy to Ebro here. Played by Luke Shaw. Memphis puts it out for a corner. Maybe a chance for Watford. Troy Deeney, the man up front for Watford today. And I believe this is his header that fell just wide. David De Gea. Actually, that fell onto the post, but I think David De Gea probably would have had that covered anyway. Looked in the right place. It's amazing that header hit the bar. Good effort from Deeney. Whipped in. And Shaw, he had a miss kick there. Headed back in. Here's Kapoor. Oh, and deflected again. I think that might have been McNair. Manchester United need a bounce back result after the shock loss at West Bromwich Albion. Considering how they knocked them out of the Capital One Cup by 4-1. Sergio Berahino stole the show. It was all ground. And Herrera. Herrera was trying to do there. It's we're offside against Mata anyway. Mata's really being called out offside a lot here. It's twice. Townsend. To Barami. Annoying. Kapoor. Interception by Ander Herrera. Handball given against him, however. Kind of harsh. Free kick to Watford. And falls to a Watford player. It's a volley. Great save by David De Gea. And Rooney is caught with the possession loose there. Watford come forward again. Barami manages the substitute. Townsend keeping the ball amongst themselves. Manchester United nothing. Like Wolfsburg did. West Brom to a degree. Townsend keeps the ball amazingly. Manchester United just remaining compact though. They know if we could hit a counter attack, the ball is wide. Well, it was always going to be a difficult shot for him, I think, to be fair. It was always coming away from him. He was lucky to get the shot off at all, I think. And with a goal kick. Ebro. Noy. Barami. Townsend. Rami, good looking ball. Shaw with a header down. I mean, he's a bit out of position here. That's a bit of a nervy pass. Townsend pursued by Jones. Townsend, oh my word, what a save from David De Gea that is. That is an absolutely stunning save. And here come United on a break of their own. And Watford are nowhere. And I think that might be Phil Jones running at them. Oh my word, what a run from Phil Jones this is. Phil Jones is deflected. And it's a corner. Oh my word, what a save by David De Gea. Absolutely stunning. As Adaby comes on for... I couldn't really catch who was going off. Oh, mesmerising stuff from David De Gea. What a save. Barami is the man coming off for Watford, and his first job is to defend this corner. Mr. Pye will take it, and Gomez comes out, and Herrera hits a good save from Gomez. Oh, it's the looping header, and it's Wayne Rooney's offside. Well, it wasn't the most convincing save for Gomez, but it'll do. He was hit into the path of Rooney. He was in an offside position. It's unfortunate. Nothing much really Rooney could do about it, but well, even Gomez is making some good saves. It's going to be a day of the goalkeepers today, in this match at least. And beat. Oh, Jones went there, but Abbey keeps the ball, and it's wide by Townsend. David De Gea, are we going to get a look at this magnificent save he just did? I think we are. Here it is. Comes out. Oh, absolutely stunning save. We never get tired of saying how good a save it is from David De Gea. We do it all the time. We're used to it. It's almost like a catchphrase. Kunis. Procedures. 9. Lind. Intercepted. Now, Rooney's onside. And Rooney is where probably Memphis or Martial should be. Here's Memphis anyway. Oh, the ball almost got through. Good header by McNair. Anthony Martial. Haven't really seen much of him in the second half. Here he comes. He made a name for himself. Good save by Gomez. Rooney. Oh, he's put it over. Oh, was that Daley Blind? It was Blind. It was a good attempt. It almost hit the post. Well, that was a really good attempt from Blind, to be fair. One for not trying there, Blind. 5 minutes of the second half left. No action in the second half. As Demiti comes on for Watford. He's Blind. Manchester United starting to get a foothold in this game now. Watford starting to... I think the legs are starting to tell. When playing Manchester United, that can be done. That's why the Watford manager is making a small substitution there. Procedures. Townsend. Back and forth amongst themselves. Watford look to be parking the bus. Bro. All the way by Darby. Bad position by the Watford player, to be honest. It's going to be a Watford throw. Final seconds of regulation. 3 minutes added on to the board. Townsend. Beat. Everywhere. Headed forward by Tamiti. It's to the bar. The Sundays and girls man of action in the second half, but no goals. But that man is the reason. David De Gea, once again, a man of the match performance, to be sure. I would certainly give him my man of the match. Stunning saves, absolutely majestic stuff from David De Gea. We never tire of saying how good a save is from him. It might be here. It might be a long last chance for Watford. That's a good-looking pass. It wasn't all convincing. Dimiti's wide. And Watford really are forward-thinking. They showed no fear against the might of Manchester United, but it's that man, isn't it? It's David De Gea who installs the fear in every striker known to planet Earth, because that man is a brick wall that can hardly ever be broken. He's the match saviour for United today. Not really any forward momentum, although Gomez did, to be honest, make some really good saves of his own. I think it was day of the goalkeepers today. Stunning saves all round, but David De Gea steals the show yet again. And Real Madrid, you have to think, are really regretting trying to get a deadline day steal, because that man right there is once again the hero when it comes to Manchester United. Maybe the best defensive team in the league, but that man is the sole reason for it. Although, to be fair, Manchester United's back four is much better than it was last season. Another vintage performance from David De Gea. Watford 0, Manchester United 0. Around the grounds today, Chelsea thumping Norwich by 5-1. Everton drawing with Aston Villa a goal apiece. Manchester City and Liverpool involved in a classic with 2 goals apiece. Newcastle United beating Leicester City by 2-1. Southampton beating Stoke City by 1-0. Swansea City and Bournemouth with a 2-2 draw, a vital point for Bournemouth. United Watford 0-0. And West Brom losing to Arsenal by 3-0. So we look at the table. Manchester City have a 3-point lead over Chelsea and Manchester United, now on equal points. Liverpool moving up to 4th. Arsenal now up to 8th, but really need to get going. Bournemouth, a very impressive 14th for new boys, and the only one out of the 3 promoted teams that are out of the relegation zone down there are Watford, Norwich City at the bottom, and Leicester City splitting them.